Hey everyone, my name is Kristen and we're really excited to talk to you guys about Macaulay today, and we're going to be going live in a few minutes.
Welcome, class of 2022. Congratulations. My name is Ahmed Farouk. I'm one of the co-presidents of the Macaulay Ambassadors, and we're here to talk to you a little bit about Macaulay.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Cornane. I am the other co-president of the Macaulay Ambassadors, and I'm a student at Queens College. I'm an accounting major, and we're both really excited to give you guys our insights today about Macaulay and also to congratulate you on your acceptance. So just to give you guys a breakdown of today's event, we're going to be bringing in speakers from all different campuses to tell you guys about their insights, and we'll sprinkle ours in as well. And we hope you guys get a lot out of this, and please feel free to use the chat with us button to drop us any questions, and we'll actually be looking at your questions and answering them live. So now we'd like to invite in our first two speakers. Hey guys.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about yourselves, your name, your campus, and maybe a fun fact about you.
Sure. My name is Leslie Epps. I'm currently going to City College. I'm in my second year. I'm from Long Island, and fun fact, I guess, I have two middle names because my parents couldn't agree on my name.
Hi guys, my name is Calvin. I am a sophomore attending Hunter College, majoring in biology and minoring in mathematics. I guess a fun fact about me is that I was born and raised in Indonesia for 12 years.
Nice. So I think one great thing about Macaulay that we have is our 4 seminars. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your experiences and which one was your favorite?
Okay, so I'll start. I really enjoyed the first one, which is Arts in New York City. They really introduce you to all the cultural institutions around New York City, so a lot of plays and shows. I'm from Long Island, and I've been to the city a couple of times, but I was still very much a stranger in the city when I started going to college, and that course really gave me a lot of introductions to things that I didn't know existed and where to go when I want to enjoy New York City culture. I really loved all the things we went. We saw the opera, we saw a couple of plays, we saw dances, and I still go to a lot of the different events that were introduced to me. So there's this week called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's just a showcase of dances at in the city, and I really keep going there because I do enjoy dances, and I got introduced to dance in the city through that seminar.
Awesome.
Well, actually, this is a tough question because I love all the seminars. But I have to say that the second seminar, which is the Peopling of New York, is one of my favorites because it teaches you, the dynamics of immigrants and different ethnic enclaves in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Living in New York City for the past 7 years, I know that the city is diverse, but really studying it in much more in depth has given me a breadth of knowledge on the city I'm living in.
Mm-hmm.
And for that seminar, the professor, Fatima Shama, took us to a few different field trips, which were really fun. One day we went to the Tenement Museum
Wow.
in the Lower East Side, and that was really fun. Seeing just history in action in these buildings. And the best thing from that class was when we had a field trip to Jackson Heights, and the professor bought us empanadas,
Nice.
and that just made our day. So that was really fun.
So now, one thing that sets Macaulay apart from some other elite institutions is the one-on-one advisement that we have available to us as all Macaulay students. So can you guys speak a little bit about how you utilize your advisors, how they've helped you?
Okay, I guess I'll go first. When I first went to college, it was a little difficult getting acclimated, and I didn't realize how important speaking to your advisors is until like just recently. So now I'm much more connected with my advisors, and I can go to them for a lot. And I think, like you said, what sets Macaulay apart is the support that you're going to have. I feel like if you go to a lot of these big name schools, they're not as supportive and they're not as individualized as Macaulay is. And I feel like I'm very supported here. And even though it really is important to me, because no matter what I do, if I fail, I'm not alone in it, and I can rely on someone else to help me.
I think the greatest thing about Macaulay is the community, and my advisor plays a huge role in that. And we have to see our advisor like once every semester at least. And that's like a requirement kind of thing. But I love my advisor so much that I end up seeing her, multiple times every semester, just because, we don't even talk about academic stuff sometimes. We just talk about how's it going, how is things going in the office and things like that. So, just the commitment from the advisors is just extraordinary.
That's
for
awesome.
me.
I feel like a lot of people might have this misconception of CUNY being a commuter college. Every CUNY campus, people just go to school and come home. But I don't think I have that experience at all. So would you guys elaborate a little bit on how CUNY and Macaulay, creates a community for you guys?
Sure. Well, at my campus, and as well as some other campuses, there actually is dorms, which is very good for me. I'm from Long Island. That commute would not work. So I really do like the dorms because, again, it makes another sort of community within the campus as a whole. So I know people in that dorm, and I see them throughout the campus, and I can say, hey, I know that person. Like, we dorm. I know what room they're in, which is kind of weird. But anyways, I get to speak to them a lot, and we get to share different experiences of just being at the dorm and just having different events that we can go to. So I think it really does unite people on the campus.
Nice.
Well, at Hunter, we get 2 years of free dorming. But the thing about the Hunter dorms is that it's located off-site, so we still have to commute to the campus. But, the dorming experience is just wonderful. Just living among your friends, that's something that was foreign to me, that concept, being more independent and just making friends and attending, the residence hall events. And sometimes you get free food too, and that's the best part
That's
of
the
it.
best. That is perfect. I wait for this. I live for those events.
Yeah.
Let's actually take a look at the Facebook and see if anybody has commented any questions. Maybe refresh the page.
Yes.
Because we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear
You
your
guys
questions.
keep those questions coming. All right, nothing yet.
Nothing yet. All right. Well, I'm sure we're going to have more questions rolling in as we move on in our program. But thank you guys so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank you.
And we are going to have you guys and all of our ambassadors answering questions. So please, any questions you have, feel free to ask.
Yeah.
And now we're going to bring in our other speakers. So thank you guys so much.
You're
Thank you.
Hey, friends. Welcome. So, guys, tell us a little bit about yourselves, campus, name, and a fun fact again. Let's see the fun facts.
Fun fact. All right. Well, hi, my name is Victoria Smith. I'm a sophomore at Lehman College. I'm majoring in political science with a minor in journalism. And a fun fact is I have been a drummer for 9 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm Alexis Cateridge. I'm a current sophomore at the College of Staten Island. I am a English Lit and writing major. And a fun fact is that I play softball at the College of Staten Island.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hi, everybody. My name's Andrew Bandini. I am a junior at John Jay College, majoring in Law and Society, minoring in Digital Media and Journalism, and pursuing a certificate in dispute resolution.
Wow.
Yeah, sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. A fun fact about me is that sometimes I am the John Jay mascot, which is a bloodhound.
Wow.
So sometimes if you see the bloodhound dancing around on campus, I'm in there. So that's
so
a
cool.
fun fact. Yeah.
So guys, one thing that's really important for getting jobs or going to graduate school is internships. So can you speak about the internships available to you and how Macaulay helps you get those?
Well, I'll start off. So, as you said, internships are super important, and I think that Macaulay has been super instrumental in helping me get some of my the internships that I've enjoyed most. So, I had the opportunity to intern at a family court
Wow.
down in the city, which is great because it helped me realize that I was going to be pursuing law. And I got that opportunity actually by speaking at a Yield event, an open
Wow.
house event back in October of my freshman year. And there was a parent in the audience who was like, hey, you're pursuing law, I'd love to give you this opportunity. So
Wow.
actually coming to Macaulay and encouraging students just like you guys to come here helped me get my first internship. And then Macaulay also helped me get the Watson Fellowship, which guarantees me internships for the next 3 summers,
Wow.
which
Wow.
I'm looking forward to. And the final summer I get to go abroad. So
That's amazing.
Macaulay has been very instrumental in just opening my horizons, and this is going to be great for the future.
Yeah, I have a similar experience with internships. I interned last summer at EY, and I have an ongoing internship throughout the year at a small accounting firm in Queens. But I don't think I would have ever had the courage to put myself out there and to apply to these internships if it wasn't for the help of my advisors and if it wasn't for the help of seeing you guys doing all these, cool things. We always try to, step each other's game up and always try to be on par with the rest of our students. So I think that's something that always keeps us going. But I want to move on to the building that we're in right now, which is Macaulay Central on the Upper West Side. It's kind of our hub of, we all come together for common events. So what have you guys experienced and how have you guys connected with the other 7 campuses within this building?
So I guess I'll start. I am the co-secretary of Humans of Macaulay, and as a co-secretary, I help put on events for the club. And it's amazing to see the vibrant network of students we have here at Macaulay, especially those who attend our events. That's when that's where it really manifests itself. One of my great friends goes to Brooklyn College. I also have a few really close friends at Baruch in the Macaulay program, and a few good friends from City as well. So even though that we all go to very different schools with extremely different campuses and ways of life, the Macaulay building kind of just brings us together, and it's so great having this like dual citizenship between John Jay's campus and the Macaulay campus.
Mm-hmm.
So my favorite perk, let's call it, of Macaulay is the early registration. It allows me to get my favorite professors at the best times and really make my schedule. But Alexis, I want to ask you, what's your favorite perk about Macaulay?
Mine is definitely the personalized advisors. So my advisors are absolutely amazing. They're on top of their game, always sending me internship opportunities, sending me all different scholarships and stuff like that as well. Very personable. I know if I ever have an issue, I can always go into their office and talk to them no matter what. Especially just considering that they're just two people, and they're easy to talk to, and they're just very friendly and open. So they, I know if I need to, I can go into my advisor, Lisa French or Anita Romano, I can go to them, be even personal life, not even just school as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's very nice
That's
to have
awesome.
them.
So Andrew, I know you had some recent experiences with study abroad. So tell us a little bit about your trip, some fun things you did, and how Macaulay facilitated that process for you.
So I was able to go on 2 study abroad trips. My first trip was during January of 2017 to Athens, Greece. I lived in Athens for 3.5 weeks, and I studied immigration, citizenship, and nationalism. So I actually got to work with the homeless population in Athens and advocate on behalf of them. So it was an amazing experience, and I did a lot of fun things on the trip too, like go to Rome for a weekend. And I loved Greece and my study abroad experience so much that I went back to Europe again in this past January 2018. I spent an entire month in Salamanca, Spain, studying Spanish language and civilization. The classes were really intense, but I really loved what I was learning in Spain, and I feel like I've gotten really good at speaking Spanish. So don't test me though. But yes, I've had amazing experiences, and my advisor actually encouraged me to study abroad. I have travel anxiety, and my advisor is like, "This is perfect. You need to get out of your comfort zone, and you need to do this." And if it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't have gone on either of the 2 trips. So that goes back to what Lexi was saying about our amazing advisors here at Macaulay.
Yeah, so I see we actually have some questions rolling in
Yes.
on the Facebook page. So let's see if we can answer some of them.
What has your experience been with class registration? I think I'd want to take that just because it's my favorite.
Go for it.
So, you might not know this right now as high school students, but when you're in college, class registration is very important. There might be students who don't get, at the right time or the right professor because these classes fill up so fast. But as a Macaulay student, you are the first student to, register for classes, and that is one of the most important perks that Macaulay gives you.
For sure.
Okay, other questions? Okay, no, that's from Mohammed. How is the mentoring for STEM students?
Ooh, do we have any STEM majors?
No.
No.
Oh, I would like to take the pre-law question. I see there's a pre-law question. Please elaborate on experiences with pre-professional advisors, for example, pre-law. So I've had a really good experience with pre-professional advisors at Macaulay and at John Jay. So first with Macaulay, we have a leadership series where every Friday somebody different from a different professional field has come in for lunch to have lunch with Macaulay students, and it's been really cool. I met a journalist who I thought was really interesting. He had a very interesting route to his career, and that kind of helped me shape what I was studying in my digital media and journalism minor. As far as pre-law goes, since the person who posed the question listed pre-law as an example, John Jay has a very strong pre-law program, and I got an amazing internship at the Bronx Civil Supreme Court through them.
Wow.
But the catch was, the application for that amazing internship, there was a box, and they said, check this if you're a Macaulay Honors student. So
Wow.
that just demonstrates how important, I guess, being in Macaulay is and how we have those special perks.
Yeah, and there's a lot of... Go ahead.
Just to add on, law firms don't hire too many college students just because there's law schools where they hire those students. But there are certain law firms who hire, Macaulay students every summer, which is an amazing, amazing thing.
Yeah, and just to go back to that STEM question, like you said, like inviting speakers in and stuff like that, there was recently some award-winning doctor that just came in to speak with Macaulay students and have lunch with them. So we always have these events and professionals rolling through this building. But we'll get back to that STEM question. We'll definitely have somebody answer that for you. So thank you guys so much. We want to, keep in our time schedule. So we're going to move on to our next speaker, which is an alumni. So you guys will get to hear a little bit about life after Macaulay. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Hey there,
How
welcome.
you doing?
Doing
So please tell our viewers all about yourself.
So my name is Mohammed, and I graduated in 2015 from Macaulay City. I majored in electrical engineering,
Wow.
and after that, I went on to grad school at Columbia University, got my master's from there, and now I work at a law firm at Wall Street.
Wow. Oh my God.
So how was that transition from your major now working in a law firm?
I actually feel like I did a bunch of everything. So I started doing electrical engineering, and then transitioned that into like a bit more of biomedical engineering. So I was also like, in surgery rooms, like testing algorithms that we worked on. And then after that, I got a hold of like IP law, how that works. Grew really interested in that, and that's what eventually brought me to law. So it's a bit of everything: engineering, then like some medical stuff, and now law.
That's amazing.
Well, now, Mohammed, because you've been to graduate school and now that you're working at law firms, how has Macaulay's name, received out there?
Right. So one of the things that is really surprising, considering how young Macaulay is we're actually pretty out there. And companies, grad schools do recognize that Macaulay graduates high caliber students every year. And like the first-hand experience I had with that, for example, when I was applying to grad school, was the Macaulay advisors that I had. They really first catered our resumes and our personal statements to get into the grad schools that we wanted to. And one of the things that really stressed is each and every year, like great universities, like for example the ones I applied to, like Columbia, where I eventually went, Cornell, NYU, like these are universities that I got accepted at. One of the things that they reminded is this happens every year. There's a lot of successful students who, for example, if they choose to go to grad school, they end up in these great universities as well.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just speaks volumes that you're here with us today. We have alumni that are always coming back into the building to, share their experiences and how Macaulay helped them. And I think all of us students here can speak the same. I know Ahmed and I plan to just be here for the rest of our lives. But I think we actually had a question about life after Macaulay on the Facebook page, so let's see if we can take that question.
How do employers view Macaulay students?
It's really interesting because so last year when I was at a career fair at Columbia, I was giving my resume to the employers, like hundreds and hundreds show up, and several of them were like, "Wait, you're from Macaulay? I'm from Macaulay as well."
Wow!
Like these are actual employers, and that was my in, like kind of to explain, like, yeah, I was. They're like, "What campus were you from?" So there's definitely, I think, that network that's already out there. And I feel like they do recognize that the people who are coming out of these schools, for example, the campuses from Macaulay, they're distinct and they have like this aura to them, because you're gonna get people who are hardworking, who have been like trained with some of the best faculty in the world, and just have this sense of urgency, like basically go-getters.
Yes.
Wow.
For
Now,
sure.
one more question. I want to put you on the spot here. Pick yourself back, 4, 5, 6 years, and pretend you're in 12th grade. You got your Macaulay acceptance. You got other acceptances as well.
Right.
What made you choose Macaulay, and how has that decision played out?
I think one of the key things that I was like, okay, this is one of the reasons that I want to go here, and I actually really see the benefit of it now, is I get to graduate and I don't have to worry about loans from tuitions.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about like, okay, I have to start paying these bills. I can look at other things, how can I invest in myself rather than taking this money and giving to someone else, like a loan institution. So I think honestly that was one of the key influences. I already knew that Macaulay was like this high institution that people wanted to go to. It's very intense. I'm going to get training from the best faculty in the world. But for me, what the key distinction was it's free. You don't have to worry about your bills.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, so thank you, Mohammed, so much for your insights. I think both Ahmed and I learned a lot, as
Yeah.
I'm sure our viewers have. So thank you so much for those insights. And now we're going to actually air a video that was previously recorded with one of our students, Tamara Jean. She is the recent recipient of a Rhodes Scholarship, which is actually going to enable her to go to Oxford next year to complete her master's degree in political science. So we're going to learn a little bit more about her, and then we're actually going to bring her in to answer some questions. So please enjoy the video.
Hi, my name is Tamara Jean, and I am a senior at Macaulay at Hunter. I attended Edward R. Murrow High School, which is a fairly large high school in Midwood, Brooklyn. My parents are from Haiti. They're from the same very small town in Haiti, and they immigrated here separately in the 80s and 90s and made a home here in New York. My mom is probably the strongest and most hardworking person that I know. She's a nurse, and her journey to becoming a registered nurse was a long one. And my dad is a groundskeeper at a synagogue in Brooklyn, and I can remember if he was doing security, I'd just sit on his lap and do security with him. So I always knew, what work looked like, and I always knew how hard they worked and how many hours they dedicated to it. And I think that definitely went into the kind of ethic that I put into my own schoolwork and the things that I did, growing up. I take myself to the movies a lot. especially around the city, it's really easy. I take myself to museums and shows. As much as I do have a large community around me, New York is a great place to just get lost by yourself and just, experience the city, whether that's just, taking a walk for an hour or going to a movie or going to a show or doing something like that.
Okay, so now we're back, and here joining us is Tamara Jean. Thanks so much for joining us, and it was great to learn a little bit more about you in that video. But I want to hear more about how Macaulay actually helped you in getting this Rhodes Scholarship.
Sure. I think we've heard a lot about how being Macaulay is a lot about being in the city and having access to a lot of opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think an important part of Macaulay is the experience and confidence that it gives you to go into these new spaces with some confidence that you might have not had before. So if it's advisors reading your resume or helping you write a cover letter or even doing mock interviews with you, I think Macaulay does a really good job of preparing you to go into these new spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak about any professors you've had who've had an impact, on your academic life or anything?
Sure. Right now I'm pursuing a PhD, and I can honestly say that before going into college, I had no idea what that meant. And one of the integral people in my life who introduced that as an option to me was Professor Carolyn Somerville, who's currently the head of the political science department at Hunter College. And she just was someone who paid attention to all of my interests and passions that I have in class and took the time to pull me aside and, further talk about all of my interests and the possibilities that I can do with that.
Mm-hmm. And if you could give these prospective students one piece of advice and just, I guess, a general statement on why they should come to Macaulay, what would that be?
I think being a college student, but especially being a college student somewhere like Macaulay in the city, it's important to just take chances. I've had opportunities to do things I never would have thought of before. I'm also a media major, and I've been able to intern at PR companies and film companies and attend movie screenings, which is something I never thought about going into college, but just having that experience of being open to new ideas, being open to learning new things is important, and I think being at Macaulay is a great place to do that.
That's awesome. So let's see maybe if we can take a few questions before we wrap up today.
Are there Macaulay-specific clubs?
Sure. I, as a freshman, I think was really interested in learning about feminism and feminist ideals, and Macaulay definitely has a space for that. I've learned about human trafficking and done a lot with Macaulay clubs to be an advocate for those issues, and I think there are a lot of Macaulay clubs that do focus on building a community and building camaraderie between students, but there are also a lot of clubs that focus on political issues that I'm really a fan of, and they teach you how to be an advocate for issues that you really care about.
Definitely. I know Ahmed and I are both involved here at Macaulay Central, but I'm on the Macaulay Scholars Council, so I represent my Queens College within our student government. So I'm here at the building a lot, but I definitely get together with everybody from all different campuses, and it really creates that collaborative environment. And you being co-president of the ambassadors with me, we do a lot of work in, reaching out to students like you guys and telling you guys all about our Macaulay experiences. I think we should take another question.
Yeah. Registration, we answered that. Does every campus have a dorm?
Every campus does provide housing. I've lived at Hunter College's housing for the last 4 years, and it's been an amazing experience for me. It does help when you live with your classmates. It starts to feel like a family. Mm-hmm. So it does help the experience of coming to college, especially in such a big city, when you have that camaraderie in a really small space and you get to know each other on a really personal level by dorming together.
Yeah, and I think even on a commuter level, college is what you make it. You can go to school and go home, but with Macaulay students, that is most definitely not the case. All of us are really involved, both on our campus and here at Macaulay Central. Is there another question that we can take?
Let me check. For Tamara, how has Macaulay helped you become a Rhodes Scholar?
Sure. Again, before coming into Macaulay, before coming into college in general, I had a general idea of what the Rhodes was. When you think of the Rhodes Scholarship, you think about people like Bill Clinton and Rachel Maddow and Cory Booker, these really big names who are at the forefront of their fields. And I knew what it was, but I never put myself in that conversation until it was, people who are in roles of advising at Macaulay and especially at Hunter who really just pushed me to apply, pushed me again, like I said before, to just take a chance. And when I got an interview, which was a surprise in and of itself, they really did pull through to make sure that I was really prepared going into the interview, that I knew what the format would be, that I was comfortable with how the interview would go, how just being around this new, context of people would feel. So I think just in the preparation that I needed, getting through the process of the Rhodes application was really helpful, and Macaulay played an integral part in that.
That's awesome. And I think, you are one of the many people that cross paths in this building that have done super successful things like this, whether it be fellowships or scholarships like this. So, you are, a great example of this story, but we have many of these stories within this building, and we want you guys to be able to create that story when you hopefully do come to Macaulay. So we want to thank you guys so much for joining us today, and again, congratulations. We will be sticking around to answer your questions, so please keep them rolling in, and we thank you guys again so much.